Pain. We've all felt it. It's totally universal, but at the same time, it's incredibly personal. And for centuries, it's been one of the biggest mysteries in medicine. I mean, what is it, really? How does a stubbed toe turn into this all-consuming feeling? Well, we're going to take a journey through how our understanding of pain has changed over time, from ancient ideas all the way to modern neuroscience. Let's get into it. And that really gets to the heart of it, right? This is the big question. You can have two people with the exact same injury, but one might just feel a dull ache, while the other is in absolute agony. Why is that? The answer, as you're about to see, is way more complicated than just a simple physical sensation. You know, for as long as we've been around and feeling pain, we've been trying to figure out where it comes from. And the earliest ideas weren't about nerves or brain signals. They were about something much bigger, about balance, the elements, and even the location of the soul itself. So, check this out. We've got two totally different ancient ways of thinking about pain. In traditional Chinese medicine, going back thousands of years, pain wasn't from a single thing, but from an imbalance in the body's energy, the yin and the yang. Meanwhile, over in the West, the debate was much more physical. Where does the feeling of pain actually live? Aristotle thought it was the heart, but then Galen, a brilliant physician, argued pretty convincingly that no, it's got to be the brain. Okay, let's fast forward a few hundred years. The search for answers starts to get a lot more mechanical. As science really took off, people started looking for the actual wiring in the body, trying to trace the physical pathways that carry the feeling of pain. So one of the first big scientific ideas was the intensity theory, and it's a pretty intuitive concept, right? It suggested that pain isn't its own special sense. It's just what happens. It's the emotion you feel when any normal sensation like touch or heat gets cranked way up. Think about it. A light touch feels one way, but intense pressure hurts. The warmth from a fireplace is nice, but touching the fire is agonizing. In this view, pain is just sensory overload. But then, the specificity theory came along and argued the complete opposite. It said, no, pain is its own thing, just like seeing or hearing. The best way to think about it is like a simple doorbell. Your body has specific pain receptors. They're the button. When they get pushed by an injury, they send a signal up a dedicated wire, a specific nerve fiber, straight to a pain center in the brain. And that's the bell ringing. It's a direct one-way street from ouch to perception. After that, the pattern theory tried to find a middle ground. It asked, what if it's not about separate wires, but about the message being sent down the same wires? It's like a secret code. The brain isn't just waiting for a doorbell, it's actively decoding a complex signal. A gentle touch sends a slow, simple pattern, but a sharp injury sends a fast, chaotic, intense pattern. Same nerves, totally different message. Now, all those theories had one thing in common. They saw pain as a one-way street. A signal goes from the body to the brain. Simple. But they were all missing something huge. The fact that the brain can talk back. It can actually control the signals it receives. And this next theory, well, it changed absolutely everything. The gate control theory was nothing short of revolutionary. I mean, this was a real game changer. For the first time, a major scientific model said our psychology, our thoughts, our emotions aren't just a reaction to pain. They're an active part of the system. They can literally turn the volume of pain up or down. This was huge because it finally helped explain why your state of mind can completely change how much something hurts. And this image here shows the theory's central idea perfectly. It suggests there's a kind of gate in our spinal cord. Now, it's not a real physical gate, of course. It's a network of nerves that acts like a gatekeeper, controlling the flow of pain signals on their way up to the brain. And this gate can either swing wide open, letting all the pain signals flood through, or it can start to close, blocking some or even all of them. So what opens and closes this gate? Well, it comes down to three main things. First, you have the small nerve fibers carrying the pain signal itself. They try to push the gate open. Second, you have other larger nerve fibers that carry signals like touch and pressure, and they try to close the gate. This is exactly why you rub your leg after you bump it. You're activating those large fibers to close the gate on the pain. And third, and this is the really cool part, the brain can send its own messages down to the gate. Things like fear or anxiety can pry the gate open, while being distracted or feeling positive can help push it shut. The gate control theory basically blew the doors wide open for how we understand pain today. It took us past those simple wiring diagrams and pointed us toward a much bigger, more complete picture. One that shows pain is created by a whole symphony of different factors working together. For a long time, the main approach in medicine was the biomedical model. It was pretty straightforward. Find the physical damage, fix it, and the pain goes away. And honestly, for something like a broken bone, that works pretty well. But it completely falls apart when you try to explain chronic pain, where the suffering goes on long after the original injury has healed. It just left millions of people without any real answers. And that failure led us to our current, best way of looking at it, the biopsychosocial model. This Venn diagram says it all. Pain isn't just one thing. It's this complex experience that happens right at the intersection of three things: the biological, your actual body and injury; the psychological, your thoughts, feelings, and how you cope; and the social, your culture, your family, what's going on in your life. All three are constantly shaping your unique experience of pain. Building on that idea, Ronald Meltzer, one of the same guys who came up with the gate control theory, proposed the neuromatrix theory. This idea really puts the brain in the driver's seat. It suggests that our brain has these built-in programs for pain, a specific pattern of brain activity, a neurosignature, that is the feeling of pain. So the brain isn't just passively receiving a signal, it's actively creating the sensation. This is the best theory we have for explaining things like phantom limb pain, where the brain is creating the very real experience of pain in a limb that isn't even there. And that all leads us to this final thought. We've gone from cosmic forces and neural gates to this incredible idea that pain is an output of the brain itself. We now know it's not just a signal of damage, but this rich, personal, complex experience that our own minds construct. So the big question for all of us is, now that we know this, how can we use that profound understanding to better help people who are suffering?